it's approaching the supreme moment. Reality striking closer than it seems, don't it? Go ahead.
What's good? Let's run through another test. This is going to be the Extreme Agility Kid Buu. Now, lately, this guy really isn't a part of any conversation, really. Definitely overshadowed by the Intelligence Kid Buu, as well as the newly Extreme Z Awakened Physical Type Kid Buu. So definitely the least prefer out of the bunch of Kid Buus available right now. But you know, since he is on the Enhanced Transformation category, let's go ahead and see how he does. And you know, we'll just kind of have to see if this guy still has any sort of relevancy. I mean, this is probably one of those units that definitely does need some sort of upgrade, like either a rebirth or an Extreme Z Awaken, honestly. But you know, since the physical version just got an easy A, I highly doubt this will happen anytime soon. But again, he's on the Enhanced Transformation team, so let's go ahead and see how he does. And I'll go ahead and cover the stats a little bit. Leader skill is HP increase of 70%. That's pretty much the extent of that, so very irrelevant. Leader skill, super attack will cause supreme damage to enemy and also lowers defense. Passive skill recovers 12% of HP at the start of turn, so similar to the Extreme Intelligence version. The only difference is the Intelligence version recovers HP as part of the super attack, whereas this one will recover HP at the start of turn. So I mean, a decent passive there, but I don't know how often this guy will be used just for that sole purpose. Maybe on, you know, Super Battle Road and Battlefield, that sort of scenario, this guy might have a little bit of a more relevancy. So, Link skills, Majin, attack and defense increase to 10%, Brutal Beatdown is 10% increase to attack. More than meets the eye, attack increase of 300. Big bad bosses, attack and defense 25% increase when HP is 80% or below. Infinite regeneration, 3% HP recovery. Fierce battle, 15% increase to attack. And then the wall standing tall will increase attack by 15%. So again, he falls into 3 categories, including the newly added Enhanced Transformation. On top of that, Resurrected Warriors and Majin Buu Saga is the categories that he's on. Maxed out HP is 14,564, attack of 13,099, defense is 9,040, 12 key multiplier is 130%. So you will see this Kid Buu linked up with the Buff Buu throughout the video, just because they do share the most links with each other, and to maximize the performance, that's how the setup's going to be. Now, right here is the Enhanced Transformation category setup. The thing you'll notice, and you're probably already aware of this, but key is definitely an issue when you have a bunch of the Majin Buu units within this category. There are, you know, some link skills that do help out with the key increase, but a little bit on the limited side, so definitely a problem with that. So you will want to include units like the Strength Rose unit. Definitely does help because not only does Rose provide a defensive boost for extreme type allies, but also adds +3 key, so certainly could provide a little bit more of an ease to get the super attacks. But yeah, I mean, that's definitely one of the drawbacks with including a category or a team strictly filled with, you know, the Buu types. That's definitely one of the drawbacks with that. There are definitely ways around that though. So it's a matter of, you know, bringing in the right types of units to help the overall balance of the team. And the reason why Rose can be included on this is because the category lead Super Buu also provides a secondary leader skill where the extreme strength types get +3 key, and I believe HP attack and defense increase of 90%. So definitely a decent option to include Rose to help out the overall fluidity of the team itself. Now, the second portion of the video, you will see the Agility Kid Buu on the Resurrected Warriors setup, and for that category, you could certainly bring in units like the Demon King Piccolo and Metacooler. Both of them do provide a key boost for extreme types, so that can definitely help out the overall team as well. Yeah, this unit definitely isn't really talked about at recent times. I mean, honestly, it's definitely very overshadowed by the other Kid Buu units, more so than now because of the Extreme Z Awakening for the physical type. That unit actually became really good as a supporting unit because of the non-restriction to, you know, HP being 80% or above. Once HP goes below 80%, it's still going to provide some sort of attack and defensive boost. So definitely, he was already a relevant supporting type unit, but he's even more of a helpful you know, unit within a team, just because the passive still applies for HP levels below 80%. So with that in mind, this guy is definitely a little bit overshadowed. I'm not really sure how many people still really run this guy on any team setup, so definitely let me know in the comment section if you do still run this guy on a variety of teams. Really hard to tell how relevant this guy is right now, so because of that, I kind of wanted to you know, see how this guy was, not only at 100% potential, but also on the new category setup. The buff Buu is definitely trigger happy because he's being linked up to the Kid Buu. Definitely a good unit, the buff Buu. So he can definitely hit for a pretty decent amount. So this is going to be the Resurrected Warriors category setup. Now you see the Metacooler providing, you know, additional support on the team. Doesn't really share any link skills, unfortunately, but +3 ki and attack increase of 30% is definitely going to help a lot. And then you'll have Demon King Piccolo also, you know, here in the rotation periodically. That unit also does provide, I believe, ki +3 and then 25% to attack and defense for extreme types. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's the passive skill for that unit. So obviously this unit will hit a little bit more just because the Resurrected Warrior category lead, which is Angel Golden Frieza, does provide 170% to attack versus the Super Buu Enhanced Transformation category, which is 150%. So you might see some slight differences in overall performance, but you know, it's a matter of a difference of 40% variance. So it's really not that big of a difference in the grand scheme of things, but it does make a slight difference. Definitely the issue, I wouldn't say issue, but another factor to think about when you have a bunch of the Buu type units is they're going to continuously recover HP every round or every rotation. So at times it might be a little bit difficult to activate big bad bosses, just because, you know, they're going to be recovering HP, like I said, every rotation. So not necessarily a bad thing, because you know, it's not like absolutely necessary to have that link, but at the end of the day, it still is 25% to attack and defense, so it does make somewhat of a difference. I guess we'll have to see if this guy gets some sort of upgrade at some point. Yeah, we'll just kind of have to wait and see. The buff Buu is pretty good as itself, but I could definitely see a Dokkan Awaken happen for that guy too at some point. I'm talking about, you know, another rebirth on top of a Dokkan Awaken, obviously. So the Buu units definitely do get a damage boost against Ultimate Gohan here, so you're probably going to see much higher numbers for the Kid Buu than you normally would see, but regardless, let's kind of continue seeing how this guy is. Overall, I guess the takeaway for this is, I mean, really not a bad unit. Definitely overshadowed by the other Kid Buu units.